Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, known as the Crypto Lifer, and every single Friday, I want to give you a broad perspective of the markets. We want to look at the macro weekly, a little touch on the daily here and there, but we want to look at the bigger time frames and look at the four main assets that really can show us where we're going in the broader markets. So the first thing I want to talk about is Bitcoin right off the bat, right? We have 27.5 as a major resistance. We came back down and bounced off of 25,000, 24.9. As long as we stay above 24,900, we have a pretty good path of an uptrend. What I keep talking about on the 3-day chart is what's called a hidden bullish divergence. Let me break this down. If you're new to divergences and you don't know, let's just talk about it, because right now this is your time to learn and to find out what's happening on the bigger time frame. But swing up to swing up and swing down to swing down here on the RSI. So what's happening is you have a swing low to a swing low. That's an uptrend. But here you have a downtrend. It usually tells you that the trend, 9 out of 10 times, you will make a high higher than the high that's inside of the price action divergence there. So that tells me we should go higher. However, there's no guarantees, and we did get a major resistance at 27.5. If we flip this area, you can see Bitcoin get a major push up out of this to the upside, then there's a good chance it can come down and retest. That would be a very good area to get in on support. So a 27.6, 27.2, basically 27.750 area would be a really nice gap up trade. And because we went fast here, both areas, so I would be just reminding myself, whatever happens here happens. But whenever we do get above this level, that's going to be a pretty nice swing trade right there to the upside. So I just want to put that out there. Also on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, when I look at the VRVP and I zoom on in here a little bit, I do see that we have a slight gap here. See this? Which tells me that if we can get above this zone at 27, we can get all the way back up to 29 pretty fast. There's a fair value gap there. Again, we move fast on ends. So if we can move fast on these ends, like that way and that way, so we can get a back above this, and it just shows you even on the local time frames. Right now, the daily is pushing down and wants to take us down. However, it's getting pretty close to the 21 SMA, and that could kind of pause us off. I'm watching also this very oversold 22-hour, which could give us a bit of a bounce. So right now, smaller time frames for Bitcoin, what I want to see is this level to hold right here. See this? Previous resistance, bounce, bounce. We want to see this double bottom hold. We want to see the 4-hour get a reversal back to the upside. So we're looking for the 4-hour to break out of this falling wedge here. This is what we really need for a move to the upside. If we can't get a breakout and Bitcoin can't get back above 26,700, that's its big resistance, then we're likely going to have to go to the downside and test basically either 26.2 or all the way right back down to about 26,100, and then the point of control at 26.6. But we'll go from there. 26.6 and 26.7 have been major resistance areas. Now it's about 26,700. So we'll see. Can Bitcoin double bottom here and get a move? Right now it's attempting to find some type of movement back to the upside. We take a look at the 1 hour, and the 1 hour says, hey, I could get a bounce possibly, right? But it's not looking absolutely amazing. What I was looking at is, do we, come back down to the bottom of this channel? And no matter what, Bitcoin has to get back above 26,700. Like, if it gets above 26.7 tonight, tomorrow, even into the weekend, we could get a move. If not, it's likely falling back down here somewhere to the low 26,000s. Bookmap, which shows us liquidity and shows us where the biggest order is, does suggest that we are likely to go lower than higher. If we crunch in, we can see there's just more liquidity to the downside, but there may be one quick ape up first to 27K. So my whole thing is, can you break above here? I want to see a daily or a 4-hour candle close above 26,700. That would be the break above resistance and kind of negate the fact that we would go lower. So that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. We have the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. We have some key levels to watch too on the weekly time frame. Let's zoom out and look at that big weekly. So we can see that we had a nice resistance here at $962 billion, and we've been holding psychologically above $1 trillion for a while now. If we look at the daily, I'll show you how this kind of broke out, but the weekly did wick to the upside, and you can see the weekly is oversold. MACD's coming, and it's telling us there could be a reversal to the upside at one point. We also have the hidden bullish here, and then when we zoom all the way into the daily wants to curve us down, but just like Bitcoin, the 22 could give us a bounce here. We're sitting hard, really, right on this, see this point of control here, which is also support, bounce, bounce, bounce on the POC. This is the VRVP. If you ever want to add this to your chart, go up here, type in VRVP. It's sideways profile. Thank you. It's the sideways profile, so people can basically see where the volume is, where people are buying and selling on, and a lot of times if there's a lot of buying and selling area, you're going to get what's called the point of control, where the most buying and selling happen. And that's an area where you're likely to get a bit of a bounce. So can we get a bounce here on the 22 and the 4 hour? That's what we're watching, just like Bitcoin, right? And if we get the bounce, boom. To me, this is a double bottom, likely to play out to the upside. That's what we want to see. And then we can hold above $1 trillion. This is the entire market cap of all of cryptocurrency, with ETH and Bitcoin, just all of the entire market cap. We'll get the NQ, and everyone's wondering, is the NQ going to dump? It definitely has a shoulder, and this is the NASDAQ futures. It has a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, and once it breaks that neckline, you are likely to come down to this 200 SMA. Can you hold this trend line right now? If not, we bearishly retest. That's going to be a beautiful short. Otherwise, we go up and down, and we can consolidate for a bigger move. Just like Bitcoin, we're looking for that bounce to the upside. We look at the smaller time frames like the 4 hour and even the 1 hour, and we did get a really nice bullish divergence here. As that swung down, while if we look at the RSI, it was swinging to the upside here, see? So the RSI was swinging up while the price was swinging down. We got ourselves the bounce, but we could not get above the 1,500 resistance, 1,500 even. That's going to be our key level. We break that, we're easily going to gap up to 15,389, and it's going to dispel some of the fear for a while, and then maybe people will get a little too euphoric. But if we can't get above the zone and we keep going sideways, we could fall out of the pattern. And if we fall out of the pattern, which is this bigger white line here that I got drawn, we're likely to fall further down and, even touch this level right here at 14,269, and then we will go from there. So we are in for a pretty big drop if we can't hold these key levels. But so far, we have a low, we have a high. We do have a higher low in the trend for the NASDAQ. And last but not least, I just want to talk about the DXY. Very overbought on the daily, very overbought on the 2-day, very overbought on the 3-day. Bearish divergence on the 2-day and the daily, which is where you can see you're flat on the RSI, even pointing down, but price action's pointing up. That's a bearish div, all right? Daily is having a golden cross, which means, oh my gosh, could this just break out parabolic? If this goes out parabolic, it's not going to be the best sign for Bitcoin. We really want to see this get rejected here and break to the downside and have the 50 just kind of roll over. So all eyes on the DXY. If, we should, based on technical analysis, start to get rejected here and break to the downside. But if this pops up and does a retest, that also spells, that we could see some pullback for Bitcoin too as well. Not 100% correlated, but they're pretty inversely correlated, right? So definitely we're going to watch that. So that's just your weekly update for Bitcoin, the total market cap, the NASDAQ, and the DXY. Come back every Friday for information like this, where we'll produce, this type of information to keep you on your toes and to keep you seeing what's happening in the broader section of the macro trend. And you can find this every week on my channel. I'm the Crypto Lifer, Sam Price. Come back for more. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. God bless.